The Governor of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts is the head of state and head of government of Massachusetts and is charged with enforcing state laws. The Governor is the chief of the executive branch of the government of Massachusetts and is the Commander-in-Chief of the Commonwealth's military forces. Massachusetts has a republican system of government, akin to a presidential system, where the governor acts as the head of government while having a distinct role from that of the legislative branch. The governor has far-reaching political obligations ranging from ceremonial to political, while being the chief representative of Massachusetts as a U.S. state. The governor also is in charge of the cabinet, signs bills into law, and has veto power. The governor is also a member of the Massachusetts Governor's Council, a popularly elected council with 8 members who provide advice and consent on certain legal matters and appointments. Beginning with the Massachusetts Bay Company in 1629, the role of governor has changed throughout its history in terms of powers and selection. The modern form of the position was created in the 1780 Constitution, which called for the position of a Supreme Executive Magistrate. Governors are elected every 4 years during state elections on the first Tuesday of November, after the first, the most recent being in 2018. Elected governors are then inaugurated on the first Thursday of the following January after the first. There are no term limits restricting how long a governor may serve. The current governor is Charlie Baker. Any person seeking to become governor of Massachusetts must meet the following requirements. The role of governor has existed in Massachusetts since the Royal Charter of 1628. The original role of the governor was one of a president of the board of a joint stock company, namely the Massachusetts Bay Company. The governor would be elected by freemen, who were shareholders of the company. These shareholders were mostly colonists themselves who fit certain religious requirements. The governor acted in a vice-regal manner, overseeing the governance and functioning of the colony. Originally they were supposed to reside in London, as was the case with other colonial company governors, although this protocol was broken when John Winthrop was appointed governor. The governor served as the executive of the colony. Originally elected annually, they were joined by a council of assistants. This council was a group of magistrates who performed judicial functions, acted as an upper house of the general court, and provided advice and consent to the governor. The early governors of Massachusetts Bay were staunchly Puritan colonists who wished to form a state that coincided with religious law. With the founding of the Dominion of New England, the New England colonies were combined with the province of New York, province of West Jersey, and the province of East Jersey. During this period, Massachusetts had no governor of its own. Instead, there existed a royally appointed governor who resided in Boston and served at the king's pleasure. Though there existed a council which served as a quasi-legislature. However, the logistics of calling the council to meet was so arduous that the Dominion was essentially governed by the crown through the royal governor. The reason for the creation of such a post was there existed tremendous hostility between the Kingdom of England and the colonists of Massachusetts Bay. In an effort to bring the colonies under tighter control, the crown dismantled the old assembly system and created the viceroy system based on the Spanish model in New Spain. This model of government was greatly disliked by the colonists all throughout British North America, but especially in New England, where colonists at one time did have some semblance of democratic and local control. With the Glorious Revolution and the Boston Revolt, the Dominion was abolished in 1689. With the creation of the Massachusetts Charter in 1691, the role of civilian governor was restored in Massachusetts Bay, now the province of Massachusetts Bay. The colony then encompassed the territory of the Massachusetts Bay Colony, the Plymouth Colony, and areas of what is now the state of Maine. The governor, however, would not be chosen by the electorate. Instead, the position would remain a royal appointment. In order to ease tensions with royal authorities in the colonists, the General Court was re-established and given significant powers. This created acrimony between the governors and the Assembly of the General Court. The governor could veto any decision made by the Assembly and had control over the militia. However, the General Court had authority of the Treasury in provincial finances. This meant that in the event the governor did not agree with or consent with the rulings and laws of the General Court, then the Assembly would threaten to withhold any pay for the governor and other royal officers. From 1.